I think it's been several weeks. I've come to the conclusion that the AI will never be done. Okay, I'm going to give some context to there being no updates on this. It doesn't mean I wasn't working on it, it was more like I had a week off for once, so a decent portion of that was spent relaxing, and another portion of that was spent working on Seed. I didn't want to make a log in the middle of it, though, because I'd be showing things a little bit earlier than I wanted to. So I figured I'd push it off, make it look like I forgot, or had something going on, and then I'd drop this out of nowhere. So, a lot has changed. Yeah, I'll just show you. I know, the AI is expanded for a couple more weeks. That's because I'm not quite sure if I want to try to rework the AI before expanding them to multiplayer, or expand the multiplayer and then work them back in. But in the meantime, let's pull it up. So if you'll notice, right now, there are 3 textures for the main sword. There's the original over here, which is generic metal thing. This one, which looks plastic-like, and I don't think I'm going to keep that one for the sword, but it is a good plastic material. And then over here, we have a really shiny reflective metal one. This has the disadvantage of being, unfortunately hard to color, as this is white, and it already shows up that dark. So this really only works for, well, this. So I'm leaning towards using the original one, this one here, but I'm just curious your opinions on the 3 of the textures. Back was that? Oh, that was the ground. I've also worked in a little bit more, so let's shift over here. I made a new sword model, just fiddling with things. And here's what it looks like with the original texture. A bit more ornate than that one over there. Didn't take long to make though, so I should be able to create like weapon sets fairly quickly if I have an idea. Over here we have one of the spears. Unfortunately, I couldn't really figure out what I was doing with this, so I made it thinner, and I think the head is too big. The aesthetic is interesting. It still needs work, though. I'm not quite satisfied with it yet. This is just a placeholder for now. And then there's also this one, which I am quite satisfied with. I made this one second, so I figured out how to do a 3rd texture, and it's got gold here. Also, if you'll notice, the texture for the gold is not the same as the metal, as this has a bit more of a... I don't want to say, like... It's got more grains in this one, more texture in the actual metal, and the gold is just shiny. So yeah, that's that for the spear. So one more thing. Alright, I've added ingot bottle things. These are just, I guess, placeholders and such. So I guess here we've got tin, iron, steel, generic. It's like a copper and a bronze here. What would be gold, and then silver. These, I was just experimenting to see what would happen if I made colored metals, and I don't think it looks that bad. So, yeah, I'm gonna probably stick with those. I don't know if I'm actually gonna use them for anything. It was just experimental stuff, like various metals. It takes up a large chunk of my materials section now. But I mean, I can also just change it in weapons. For example, if you want to see what this looks like in red metal, let's just drop red metal on it. And now we've got a red metal sword. That simple. I'm going to drop it back to tin, though, just because. Where's tin? Right there. Actually, I'll just show it on a bigger scale. So if you notice, the gold is not the same type of thing. It's a bit more reflective and gets a bit darker. That's just because, well, in general, I'm pretty sure gold is a bit more reflective than, like, some of the other metals. I'm sure, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm talking about. I just figured I'd make gold shinier. Is what it boils down to. Because then, like, you've got silver here as compared to the tin, which is a lot less reflective. But anyway, yeah, you can do that with the spears too. For example, I could set a red tip or a red thing there. Or I could just change this to silver too, which is slightly different, a bit more shiny than the blade. But yeah. So there's that. Another thing, I fiddled with AI a little bit. By by a little bit, I mean a lot of bit. So for now, I'm just going to turn off 95 through 97. These are the other colored ones, and I'm just going to show you exactly what the blue ones can do. Let's maximize this up here and play. Actually, I'll pause it first. So, as a new feature, each of these can be given a priority point. What this means is, if it doesn't have any actions to do, it will follow the priority point before doing the idle walking. Due to this, if you set an idle point, it won't move. However, if you attach the idle point to, like, the leader of the group, for example, it'll follow, the AI will follow that particular unit with the, like, predetermined spacing from that other enemy, or whatever they are. So let's just show you how this works. So if you'll notice, they start forming groups about this one. They're all off, I think, like one unit. So when, like, the leader turns, they turn. They don't all face the same direction and such, but I'll maybe have them face forward eventually. In the meantime, though, it's just a proof of concept. This was how, like, the AI would be following the player. The summons would end up following the player around. Something like they'd pick a side and follow around there. So now the blue squad follows the leader by placing themselves next to the leader, and the leader's the only one that idles around. The rest just join in. However, if something happens, they're still just as quick to react. Oh, please don't mess up the... Oh, they just walked right over the stuff. Weird. Oh, you wanna know why? They don't have... I forgot to add colliders. That'll be really important later. I really don't want to forget that. Alright, so I'm gonna go pull this back out and add in another thing. So now all of the slimes are on. So I've been fiddling a bit with conversion algorithms, as in trying to get actions to work universally, so not just restricted to AI or not just restricted to players. As such, unfortunately, a couple actions that I previously showcased do not currently work. They still function for players, but if they move over to an AI, the AI breaks because it's not set up for it. Also, another one of the actions is not delayed, even though it should be, and that'll be accounted for, but that one's much easier to deal with. Actually, I'm pretty sure I know how to do that right now. Huh. Alright. That's simple. Alright, yeah, so I have to remember that, and just hope I don't forget. So, what I've added in, you know, I'll just play and show you. Let's just go. This is going to be a little, like, yeah. They cast spells. They tend to empty out their mana bars immediately. And then just cluster and start fighting with swords. They can also cast in any direction, which is probably a downside, but I'm not really sure why they do it. I think it's mostly just they have a target and the angle doesn't matter, so I'll fiddle with the angle conditions. Oop, blew one down. Alright. Now this just leaves 2 red and a green. Alright. Let's just see who lives, just because why not? Alright, so the original thought that I had... Oh! What? Oh god. Hold on. Hold on. What just... Were they just spewing? Yeah, they're spewing out of the corpse. Alright. Alright. Hold on. This isn't right. I'm just gonna... Oh, I bet I know what happened. Let's form... Oh. Alright, so... What I did, by accident... 97 is referencing the green ragdoll, and unfortunately, I forgot to do something. So, I think at one point recently I added a model under the main AI, which basically means you can create an AI shell and then inject a model into it. Now, of course, the shell is still somewhat specific, as it needs to have the set of animations to begin with. That I can't really change. I could. Oh wait, no, that's the model, I'm sorry. Wait, what am I talking about? Oh, never mind. The bounds of, like, the navigation stuff might change. And then the action list. But then again, these are much simpler bases as compared to having the model, which has everything. So you only have to program a couple sets of AI and then just stick the sets of models under them. For example, the humanoid ones can all go inside one because they'll all match, instead of having to have one for each of the colors of slimes, each of the color of everything else. I don't really know how much longer I'm going to keep the slime models, actually. I probably should make something else, but just thinking about it. Alright, so the idea that I had before was with channeled spells. For example, I think it was called like Icicle Barrage or something like that. It does not work on the AI. They don't know how to channel. They can't fire constantly, so they just simply fire one and the spell would end, if it even worked like that. Currently, they don't even have support for the channel function, so it'll probably break. What I think I'm going to do is set a predetermined time, just either a predetermined time or predetermined number of cycles through the channel, after which it automatically ends, and then create an object based off of that. That'll require a more complex algorithm and actually will need to sort through all of the actions instead of just copy-pasting them over. The second thing was charged spells. For example, the lightning bolt and the meteor. Right now, they fire immediately, which is, well, not good in terms of, well, they deal large amounts of damage and should not be fired that quickly. I will be fixing that by attempting to interject a second, actually, for that matter, a third action. So it goes trigger idle use instead of just trigger use, which is how they currently work. I don't think I'm going to add an idle for all of them, just if the charge time is greater than 0, and then this action of the middle one will simply be the charge time and then take the idle animation. I'm pretty sure that's how I'm going to do it. So, yeah. I think that's it for what's done this week. As for what's next, I think it'll be trying to get these things to work in multiplayer. I haven't done anything with networks and anything of the sorts. Not on the AI. I don't know how they're going to react when I start putting, like, network things on them. I also think I don't have to use a player object to the player summoned AI. I just have to do a player controlled object. Though I don't know exactly how to make it local player controlled. I'll have to fiddle with that one a little bit, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure that one out. So I guess up next is... Oh, actually, before I move into the AI and making them function... I don't know. I'll either be working on the multiplayer or expanding one final function of the AI, and that is determining what to use, like when to use certain actions. The AI walking around, they're fine to spam whatever they want in the meantime until I figure out a more advanced algorithm for them. For the ones assisting players, however, I do need to fiddle with them a little bit. For example, you don't want a healer casting like a weak offensive spell and burning out its mana pool instead of actually healing the player, which is, well, what a healer is supposed to do. And you don't want a support blowing through everything on, I don't know, I guess offense too, when it should be providing buffs. So I think what it's going to do is sort the spells based on whether or not they do damage and buffs, and then, for example, or damage, buffs, healing, and the healer can only use attack spells if all AI allies are above a certain amount of health, otherwise they can only use the healing. And likewise with the support, if not all allies are buffed with all the buffs they have, they can't cast offensive. Of course, these will have to be dynamic, so they have to change when the AI's role changes, which can be set by the player and such. So it's a bit of a complicated process, but I am looking forward to programming it. It sounds fun. It's gonna be a pain, but I don't really care. Looking forward to it. Yeah. So I think that covers what there is to cover for this week and what's coming up. Let's see. What's on the list? Ugh. I didn't get much sleep last night. So, I probably should expand this. What does this go up to? Let's just pull this up to like, no, that didn't work. Oh, I gotta select 2. There we go. Let's go up to 2018, because why not? Let's be ambitious. Yeah, 12/31/2017, close enough. Alright, so I still have it marked down for 3 more weeks of AI logic. That's just so I can fiddle with it. And I guess 6 weeks, so a month and a half to cover improving the AI and then making them work in multiplayer and then adding them to weapons and summoning them and then working on the data storage system on the cloud. All of that will be packed into like 6 weeks. If things get busy, because I know there's going to be a lot of stuff coming up, that'll probably have to get pushed off. But I don't intend to push it off unless I have to. I'm just stating now that it might be a possibility. I don't want this to take forever, though. I mean, as it stands, the AI is taking ages, but that's also because, well, let's just show you. This is, well, there we go. This is roughly how long the basic part of the AI is. Yeah. It hit the end, and that's it. There's more to it. It just refuses to show it. And then there's also this. And then the actions, and they're really complicated. And then filling out this. I mean, I get what it all means. It's more like it takes forever to set something up like this. I just realized these are invalid now. I could probably get rid of them. But for the sake of, like, being afraid it's gonna break, I probably won't. This really needs reorganization. I made a lot of this before I made, I think, where's the AI attack? AI, it's probably just pointing out, like, it's right there. Oh, there. Duh. So this one, I can't see anything of. Awkward. I need a pre-made one. So, AI actions, let's just do a normal attack. It looks like this. You got the main set, the animation set, movement set, combo set, and effect set, and then random miscellaneous stuff. That's how the AI should be functioned, because this is so much easier to interpret. I mean, I know what's going on here, but if I were to come back in 6 months, I may have no clue. But yeah. So that's that. So I guess, let's see. Oh, alright. So, before I can add in the roles, I have to add in a buff engine and a healing engine along with unit target spells instead of directional targeting spells. That'll be tough, I think. Maybe. Probably not. I don't know. Yeah, I'll just have to make some new animations. So, don't expect anything too fancy next week. This was actually a build-up of, like, a while of working. I don't know if it looks like a lot. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. But this took quite a bit of time to get done. Which is why it took a while to get this log out there. I don't think I'm going to be doing these on a weekly basis anymore. I think I'm going to do them when I think things are ready to be shown. So it might take a couple weeks, but I'd rather provide something that's, you know, good than just saying, oh, I had another busy week. So I'm thinking about it, why? There's no point to that. It's just saying, I didn't do anything, as compared to not doing any, or not saying that and showing up a week later and thinking, well, here you go, is what I've done. It's also a little bit less stressful. It's like, I don't have to worry about rushing a feature just to get it out for a log, and if I need to, I can take a couple extra days to finalize it. For example, the spell system. I had it functional, I think, for... When did I have it functional? What day is today? Monday. I had it function a couple days ago, but it wasn't running well. For example, they could only cast, like, ball spells, and they spam them really badly, and yeah, there were a lot of issues plaguing it. I think there were also a lot of errors. Specifically, the fireball was in the mix, and the channeled spells, and I could have showed a video, but it would have been a mess. As it stands, I missed a bug, and the green one exploded everywhere. I'll admit that was kind of funny. Awful, but funny. So yeah, I think that's all there is for this week. So thanks for watching, and I will see you again next week. Ah!